Hi, my name is Kevin McDonald, and I'm declaring my independence. Independence from what? Why, negative thoughts and energy, of course. Chief among them, hate, division, and fear. You see, I know that we're all one, and together we can solve any problem, save our planet and each other. Please, join me as we come together as one and choose a better way to be. So now, let's begin with my independence report. And welcome, everybody, to my independence report. Today is Monday, and it's Metaphysical Monday. We're kind of starting a new thing that we're going to start doing right now. And right now, we are anticipating that Mary Beckman is going to be with us, but she's going to be with us at probably 2 o'clock. Unless it's a little earlier than that. And Galactic Ashley was also scheduled, and I think that we've got it screwed up that we're going to see her at 2 too. And so that's Kayla May over there, and my name, of course, is Kevin. And a couple things that I want to talk about real briefly. And before they get here, and it all has to do with metaphysics. It really is interesting because Kayla May... Let's tell your story a little bit, Kayla, because a year ago, not even quite a year ago, you walked into Derek's place, and what's the name of that place again?
Mystical Wares in Mount Vernon, Washington. And
you walked into Mystical Wares, and you sat down with Derek for a period of time. How did that change your life?
Tremendously. Let's just say it not only opened my visual eyeballs, but my third eye as well.
So tell us what it did for you. How did you feel about it?
At first it was very emotional. It was hard for me to kind of collect in, but I always felt like a unique individual, needless to say. I just didn't know where and what and how it came from and what to do with it until I talked to Derek, and that led to talking to Mary and a whole bunch of other people. So, and you as well.
And by the way, Mary will be on it too. And she's going to be taking your calls. If you see that number that is flashing across the screen below there, it is 206-408-1395, and you can give us a call directly if you'd like to talk to us as well. Because Kayla and I touched bases about, what has it been, 3 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
And has it been 4 months already?
I think it might be.
And she has done some remarkable things, and she's told me some remarkable things. One of which is, and I'll tell this story, and we can talk about it, Kayla, a little bit, because I got a call on Saturday morning at about 1:15 in the afternoon, and it's from my sister, who calls me just on a regular basis. And she says, she gets on the phone and says, now, first of all, you have to understand, my brother passed away last October, and he had stage 4 lung cancer. And my father passed away when he was 76. And my mother, who is 90, and was going strong and was doing just fine. Well, my sister calls me to tell me that my mom had passed away. She fell asleep that night and passed away. And the interesting thing about that was that Kayla, we were talking about my mother. Can't remember exactly why we were talking about her, but we started talking about her a couple of weeks before, and she said, actually on 2 different occasions. First of all, she said, I'm being told that your brother is going to minister to your mom. And I said, well, why would he do that? And she said, well, because, and your feeling was that she was closer to death than any of us thought. Was that your thoughts at the time?
Yes. Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you feel? What caused those feelings? How did you feel that?
I think it was just the how the conversation was going, the emotional connection in the conversation that we were having. It just kind of, intuition, empathy, it all kind of just took into place and played into a factor.
When that happens with you, how does it present itself?
Emotions, brief things, visions sometimes, glimpses of things, or I mean, even their higher self can come into me and tell me that they're on their way.
It was
Brother.
yeah, it was very interesting because that day when my sister called, and I could tell she was in a state of shock, and it was the last thing on my mind that the words that were going to come out of her mouth were, "Mom died last night." It wasn't like, "Hello, how are you? Are you sitting down? Are you ready for some bad news?" It was like she was so shocked that it was like, "Mom died last night." And then, of course, I proceeded to swear a little bit and curse. And I said, "You're kidding." And she said, "No." And then I remembered back what Kayla said. And it was like, holy crap, she had it nailed. Exactly nailed that it was going to be sooner rather than later. And that she was failing. And she didn't appear to be failing. I hadn't talked to her in a little bit, but she seemed to be fine. Her mental faculties weren't what they once were, but most 90-year-olds, their mental factory or faculties are not what they once were. And so she passed away on Saturday morning, sometime between Friday night and Saturday morning, and then some friends found her, and then we're now in the process of dealing with my mother, who passed away within 8 months of my brother, who also passed away. So it was a bizarre episode, and also the fact that Kayla said that my brother was off ministering to my mom as she prepared to cross over. And then today, and this is really interesting, folks, because we have to talk about what happened today, because Kayla and I met and we had lunch, and I got to asking her some questions in regards to, okay, so what happened there, and when she goes on and leaves, what is she seeing? What is she feeling? And describe what you were saying.
Kind of like I guess when the state of dementia, I guess, kicks in, is what you would call it. They're more of in a spiritual divine. Most of the time, I've obviously seen death from family. They go in through like a in and out conscious coma where they are in and out awake and whatnot. And I really feel like the divine is coming to them with, this beautiful rainbow, beautiful, a light at the end of the tunnel, but they're guided by family, and friends, animals, everything that they cherished and loved. I feel like they're just making an amends with it here in their physical body until they departure, and then they just go with everyone else. It's kind of.
And the way you described it, because my mother had she was a fundamentalist Christian, so she had a interesting view of what happens after we die. And I was wondering what she felt or how long she felt that way. And the way you described it was that it's so fast, and it is so full of energy and light and people, and people meeting her and seeing her and stuff, that it all of those preconceived notions kind of fade away. Is that kind of your feeling about it?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah, most definitely. No, that it is. I do.
And so when that happened, now the other thing is that you told me today was that you were a caregiver, and so you've seen this before.
Mm-hmm. And a
Yeah.
lot of that, yes. Being a that's a whole nother emotional roller coaster of a level to even step into. But my whole family does it. I'm surprised my Aunt Kathy wasn't the one taking care of your mother, because she works and lives over on Whidbey Island and takes care of people. So I forgot to ask that today. I definitely feel like it goes quickly. I don't think, I think it's more peaceful than people present it off to be.
It seems to me everyone that I've ever talked to seems to believe that, especially mediums and folks that have been around the death and dying, that dying is actually easier than being born. And Kayla just disappeared because you got to keep in mind she's got a 3-year-old child that is right there with her and stuff. So,
Sorry.
hello. But what I was describing was that dying is actually easier than being born. Is what a lot of people have told me about the process of coming into the world and leaving the world, because when you're leaving the world, you're not dying, you're going somewhere else, and your mind is fully occupied. By the way, I want to make sure that everybody knows, if you're tuning in to talk to Mary Beckman, she's going to be on it too, and maybe a little bit before that, and we have call lines set up so that you can talk to her directly. And also, Galactic Ashley is also supposed to be with us, and you'll be able to talk to both of those ladies directly via phone if you just take that number down, which is 206-408-1395, and you'll be able to talk to them directly when they get on, and we can. That should be a pretty exciting thing. Tell us a little bit about Mary from your perspective.
The most amazing spiritual badass woman ever. My idol and inspiration, somebody I completely, look up to. She's fantastic. She can light up a room anywhere she goes. It doesn't matter.
So if you haven't talked to Mary Beckman before, today would be a perfect time for you to do that. This is a podcast, so we're not under limitations of time or space. We can take all the time that we need with any particular individual, and we can do that. So if you are interested in talking to Mary or Galactic Ashley, please hang on, and they'll be with us between now, probably about, I'm guessing, probably about 30 minutes from now. But in your work with her, what impresses you the most?
I feel like when she speaks and does her work, it clicks in a certain way on not even just a spiritual level, a vibrational level, an emotional level. She just hits you. I told you the other day she put me in La La Land running around in a field somewhere, she works magic. And it's just with words, energy, love, light, her guides. She's an amazing soul. I mean, that's the best way to describe her. She's an amazing soul.
And she's going to be with us in the next 30 minutes or so. We had a small miscommunication. It happens when you're doing a podcast with multiple time zones involved, and you never know where the people are that you're working with. And as it turns out, everybody here is in the same time zone, but we got 1 and 2 mixed up somehow. So from that standpoint, that's where we're at. But if you hang with us a little bit, and Kayla also would like to do something because she's been getting messages from my mother as soon as, and it's a little unusual, Kayla, that as soon as she had passed, she was sending you some messages about me and our relationship as soon as a day later. So she acclimated fairly quickly, I would guess.
I feel like she did. I feel like she acclimated quickly because of your brother as well. So I think he was there with her during this time to make that transition for her a lot easier.
Because because of her core faith, we weren't sure how she was going to take it. Is that accurate?
Took it fine. I believe Mary would even tell you the same thing, that she took it just fine, and she's at peace. I believe she's happy.
Well, if the number of people that you, including animals, that you said, because we had numerous dogs and cats in her life. So if the cats and the dogs and the people, it was like a big damn party.
Yeah, family reunion. That's how you got to look at it. Big
Yeah.
old family reunion.
And the interesting thing that I was telling my sister about all of that, and it's kind of an epiphany for me. So tell me if this epiphany works for you. And that is that when we cross over, after a period of time, we tend to lose the human elements that prevented us from being who we really are. The negative things, the problems that we had growing up, being lonely, being yelled at, all those kind of things, which by the way affected us greatly throughout our lifetimes and caused us to act in certain ways, like not necessarily being as loving as they wanted to be. It's because of the challenges that they faced in life. When they get to the other side, they are more in line with who they want to be rather than what they presented while they were here. Do you agree with that?
Like we said, yeah, we talked about that today. So there's a fine line between it, but I do agree. I do agree. I think they're making an amends with themselves before they go. When they're in and out of that state of, the divine dementia kicking in, and they're going through their own spiritual awakening to be reborn again.
Right. Right. So that it all proved to be interesting. But you got a message that you wanted to play something for me.
Yes, I have a song that I want to play for you and your mother as well. So
the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. All right.
Hey, sounds for Gabby. think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dream that you did too, why, oh, why can't
That song made me more emotional than I thought. But on that note, thank you, Paulette, for that. I feel like that man, I feel like he literally knew what it was going to be like as the passing over. I feel like that song, when I heard it yesterday, was the song that I had to play for you to realize. It was all of my vision in one song that I got.
I believe that. And you know, it's interesting.
Goosebumps.
You getting messages like that. That song has been around in my world for the last 20 years, and it's an extraordinary piece of singing and what he's done with that. And that's probably my favorite version of that. And keep in mind that when Over the Rainbow, Judy Garland sang that in The Wizard of Oz when my mother was a child. So there's a direct connection between my mother and me and you and how it was all put together. It really was a remarkable moment in time. And that's why, you know, as far as when somebody passes away, maybe it's me, and what's probably is me. No, it's not. It's really is. I believe the way it is that the synchronicities that you come across and the things that happen shortly thereafter, you need to really take them and pay attention to them because they're real. I believe honestly and goodly, they are absolutely real. I'll give you another example, and this happened last night, as a matter of fact. When somebody passes away, in addition to the heartache that you feel and that you're going to miss them and so forth, and physically you're not going to see them again, even though I believe that I am in communication with my mom and will be, there still is a physical distance, and there's also a lot of stuff to do. She lived alone. She had a car. She had a house. She paid her own bills. She did all of that stuff. All that now falls to fortunately for me, my older sister to be able to do all those things. And one of the issues that came up, and we were talking about it last night on the phone, and we were talking about her car. Her car she just bought it 17 days ago. And so it was brand new basically. And so we were debating what we needed to do with it and car dealerships and how to deal with those and used cars and so forth. And I get this text, or I get this message from Messenger, from the show that we do on Wednesdays. It's called The Lunch Club. And Matt, one of the members of the Lunch Club, he texted me, and I'm not kidding, folks, this is real. He texts me, hey, for the Lunch Club on Wednesday, why don't we talk about used cars and the dealers and all the experiences that we've had with used cars, while I'm in the middle of this conversation with my sister about what we're going to do with my mom's used car. Now, I don't know about you, and some people may say that, oh, that's a coincidence. My goodness, how, that was no coincidence. That was a message from my folks on the other side that are saying she's fine. Get rid of the car. Doesn't matter. She's fine. And do you believe that to be true?
Mm-hmm.
That was actually a message.
Oh yeah, a loud and clear one.
It really was, and I get them all. I get those all the time, especially if you consider the source. That was the first time since we started the Lunch Club that Matt has actually pitched an idea. Very first one. He hadn't done that like that before. So it was so on Wednesday when I'm going to tell him, what are you, possessed? Because you gave a message. You watch what he does. He's going to go, what? Because he gave a message from the other side to me and didn't even know it. It was placed in his head to say, hey, why don't we talk about used cars? That would be a good topic. And then he texted me at the moment we were having this conversation about what to do with it. That's why I know that when you get to the other side, you're still with us. You still see what's going on, and you know what folks are doing on this side, because they're there to support you. And when it's my time to go, which Kayla May says, by the way, that'll be when I'm 88. I will remember that for the rest.
I said 188 after, because don't correct me. I hope you live to infinity. There's a never ending, because when you pass, you're reborn. So
exactly. And I will be. When it's my time to go, it will be the most fascinating experience that you can imagine. And that's why I think that when you cross over like that, and you're not coming back, I think there's a difference between near-death experiences and when you actually are going to cross over permanently. And because you don't get I don't think you get the whole show when there's a possibility that you're coming back. But when it's your time and you're not coming back, and they already know that you're not coming back. And so that's when the party comes and the people are there to meet you and everybody's excited to see you again. And the animals are there jumping all over you, and you're happy to be there because you're not in pain anymore. You can think clearly again. And all of those things. So it really is a remarkable experience when you look at it from that perspective, don't you think?
Yeah, most definitely. Synchronicity. Well, speaking of that, just like you were showing me a picture of your brother, before you showed me a picture of your brother, I asked you if you had red hair.
Yes, and he did.
So
he did. Well,
it's all out there.
It is, and you called it. The interesting thing about, and I haven't had a vision of my mother yet, but because I think she's way too busy. But my brother, my sister called me. My sister always gets to do the dirty work. She called me to tell me that Randy had passed. And it was early in the morning, so I decided I was going to go back and rest a little bit more. And I had a dream. It was vivid. It was clear. And his hair, his hair was an unusual color in that it was a auburn red kind of color. And I had the vision of a room full of people It was like a party. And there was a whole bunch of people standing around. And in walks, I didn't see his face, but in walks a guy that had that color hair. Everybody's patting him on the back. Everybody's shaking his hand. They're giving him a hug because he had completed his mission on this side successfully. And so and then I saw him sitting down with somebody with their arms around him, and he was as happy as could be. And that was in my opinion, well, that was a direct communication, his way of telling me I get it and I'm okay. Do you think that was the case?
Oh yeah. You perceive things in your own way. You just need the verification of, okay. Just like I message you or call you to get my verification, or message Mary or ask Derek, that's the uncertainty. But when it pops up like that and it's just so logically real and in your face, and it's even if it's a dream and it feels really real, take that, because that's your sign. That's what they're giving you. You see numbers in the sky. You smell perfume, money, cold chills, hot chills, anything and everything. Animals, for goodness sakes. You can connect to anything and everything. It's a frequency. You just need to get into it.
And how do you get into it?
I don't know. My woohoo juice just goes wobbing. I don't know. Derek calls it woohoo juice, so I just go with the woohoo juice. It comes in waves, really. I mean, I can't control it. It just comes to me. How? Just does.
Now, is that something that you feel comfortable with?
I enjoy it when I get messages, because it's making me feel like, okay, I'm getting my confirmation of why am I feeling emotionally like this? Why am I physically having heart pain? And then you come at me with your mother passing. And then after that, my heart pain stopped. So it's picking up on everybody else's energy. This is being empathic. That's being intuitive. You are sensitive to other people and what's going on with their bodies and frequencies. So I picked up on your emotions instantly when I read that message from you. And then it just came in like a light bulb.
I just have to ask you this, and I've never said this to anybody. I've never said this to my parents, never said it to anybody but when I was a freshman in high school, my grandfather passed. And in those days, because I went to Juanita High School, it was a brand new school, wasn't completed yet, so we were double shifting in another school. So football was in the morning, and so I went to practice in the morning, and my parents were going to pick me up, and then I was going to change clothes, and then we were going to go to the funeral, and then to the internment, where the pastor's there to intern him. So right as practice was ending, first of all, my grandfather died of cancer of the spleen and in the stomach area. And so as practice was ending, I started to get this pain in my abdomen where a spleen would be and so forth. It got worse. It got worse and worse and worse, did not let up. It was consistent. It wasn't like, oh, I got gas or anything like that. It was a consistent pain that would not go away. So I thought that I thought my appendix was going, or that something like that, and we were going to have to go to the hospital. But I said, well, I'm not going to go to the hospital right now. We're going to a funeral, for heaven's sakes, for my grandfather. And so the pain persisted through the funeral. We get to the internment. We go to the internment, and it was getting really intense at the internment, and the pastor did his thing, and the and people that were there said what they were going to do, and it was, by this point, it was so intense that I felt like I was going to throw up. And so I went into the bathroom right after the internment ended and thought I was going to throw up. So I opened the door to the stall so that I could puke my guts out, and the pain stopped. cold. Never felt it again.
Mhm.
Was that my grandfather giving me? was that just was that empath? Was I being an empath? Was I feeling the pain that he was going through before he passed?
Mhm.
What was that? Do
It's
you have any idea?
like sympathy pain, you know. That's what people would call it, you know. Oh, this person hurt hurt their shoulder or elbow, and then next 2 days this person that they told their shoulder or elbows hurting or whatever. You picked up on a frequency that was needed at that point in time in your life.
Apparently so, because that was the freakiest thing that happened to me in like ever. Because it was like so intense, and then to just go away, and then there was nothing after that. I mean, it was like somebody was grabbing my insides and squeezing them. It was that intense. And I never told anybody that, but that was until this very moment, because you triggered something in me that made me that reminded me of that. And that's like what happens to you when my mother, before she passed, she was feeling really cold and stuff. And you're pretty sure that her heart just gave out.
Yeah. I think she just went peacefully in her sleep, truthfully.
Yeah.
Their body was just okay, enough is enough.
And which was so weird, because she mowed, she had to say a riding lawnmower. She's got a big lawn. She rode the lawnmower on Tuesday and mowed her lawn on Tuesday. And she was gone on Friday night, Saturday morning. So it was like she went from being okay, and she was driving. She went to a friend's house on Thursday and spent the day with them, and then on Friday night she stayed home, and then that was it.
Sorry to interrupt. I feel like you get a burst of energy right before you go.
Well, I certainly wish if everybody who's listening to this now or in the future could have a passing like my mother had, that would be a big time blessing. Because you're right, she just went to bed, and she read her Bible for a while, and she set her Bible down, and the Bible it was still open. And when she was found the next day, her color was fine. She didn't have some of the symptoms that happen sometimes when people die.
Mm-hmm.
It was like she just fell asleep. We just kept expecting her. We were there for several hours before they were able to come and take her. And I kept expecting her to wake up, because she just looked fine. She just looked like she was asleep. It was weird.
They're peaceful. I remember being in high school, seeing my grandfather. He looked very peaceful. My stepfather did.
And that's good. That's good. Well, at the end, both of them had significant pain at the end, didn't they? Because of the cancers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they took care of that. So you've had quite a few people have passed in your life.
I think it's more so like all the men in my life are just up and dipped out to the other damn side.
Well, first of all, how does that make the significant other in your life today feel?
That all the men in my family dipped out on me?
Yes. And I'm not sure that we should be friends, actually. No, I'm kidding.
No, stop it.
Because there is the curse of the manhood. There are women all over your house, but there are only a few men, because that happens. That happens. So they're
doing their divine work up there, though. Like when I communicate with my uncle, I know that he's helping me more up there than he would have, because he lived all the way in Cle Elum. And I lived all the way over here. There was such a gap difference. We didn't communicate all the time. Now we communicate all the time. So he's helping me more.
What's it like when he communicates with you?
I get smart ass comments from him. And I absolutely, it just cracks me up during the day. I mean, he helped me put a weed whacker together for my first time down at my grandma's. It took me 3 times, but he's like, nope, not that way. No, come on. Oh, there you go, you ding ding. You know, it's, thanks, Mike. I love you too for helping me with that because I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting. It's also interesting because my sister she's a go-getter. She's killed her body in the pursuit of being tougher than anybody else, stronger than anybody else, going faster than anybody else, and now she can't do it anymore. But her mind is telling her she can, and her body is not cooperating anymore because she's 69 years old, and you know, you just can't do the same things now that you used to be able to do. And
Yeah.
she's a driven woman. And I get one of my dad's statements to her before he passed was, don't be silly. So when my sister said, well, we've got to do this and we've got to do that and we've got to do this and we've got to do that, and I don't want to pay anybody and I want to save some money, and I said, don't be silly. That wasn't coming from me. That was my dad saying to me, tell her not to be so silly. That's stupid. That's don't be silly. That was his way of saying don't be stupid, rather than that. So when I told her that, she then kind of accepted it as, well, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe they should back off just a little bit because I feel closer to them now that 3 out of the 5 family members are on the other side. I feel closer to the other side than I think I ever have.
It's weird how it works that way, isn't it?
Yeah, and I really don't feel I'm not grieving for any of them because I know where they are, and I know that they're happy where they are. And my dad gets to play golf as often as he wishes. My brother can fix whatever cars he wants to do. My mother can read the Bible, even though she's got evidence to the contrary. But you know, they get to do what they want, and they get to have a good time, and that's home.
She's gardening though.
Oh, she loves to garden.
Yeah, that's where she's gardening. she's shoot them off and she's doing her own thing. By now, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
And so well, and it's only been a couple of days though.
I think it happens a lot quicker than people think. I think if they felt like they had unfinished business or something that had to be done or said, they prolong going. But I feel like she was just at complete amends with everything. Like I said, she went through the transition with your brother before she went.
Oh, and the other thing that I was just thinking about is that since there is no time on the other side, what they might consider to be a long time can for us be like a day, because there is no time over there. So it could be that in our time it was a couple of days, but it could have been a longer period of time in their reference point, or not, or they just download so much faster because their energy is so much higher.
It could be. They might think about it. They shoot up like a light beam, you know. They're being guided. They have everybody. I feel like
it's a big party when everybody gets back together again, because there are people that and they're young and they feel good and they're happy. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking that forward to it. Let's put it that way.
I'm not looking for. I always said when I was a kid, I want to grow up. I want to be an adult. I want to grow up. Well, God, I'm 31 years old, and I wish I was 13 again. Well, maybe not 13. We'll go with maybe like 6. When I was still like not a crabby one.
Well, you're not crabby, and you're learning a lot. By the way, Mary Beckman is going to be with us at 2:00, which is 10 minutes from now. maybe a little bit faster than that. We'll see if she gets done with what she's doing. She's also having, you do these podcasts, but you also got to deal with life. She's having a dryer dropped off to their house, and so she has to be prepared for that. So we're hoping that Galactic Ashley will also join us at 2, although she hasn't. So that's what we're hoping anyway. So so stay with us. By the way, if you want to talk to Kayla or myself, this is now an interactive program because we've got a telephone line that you can call, and you can talk to us live on the air. And that number is 206. I almost gave him KKNW's number. That would not be good. 206-408-1395, because I've been saying that one for so long. By the way, just so you know, if you're local here in Washington or if you're around the world, I also do a radio show on Sunday mornings from 9 till noon. And I've got some really cool guests lined up for this week. And you can go to kknw1150.com, or excuse me, it's 1150kknw.com, and you can stream it from anywhere in the world and stuff. So that would be fun. If you have you're giggling. Why are you giggling?
I think your words are getting tongue-tied.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm not used to talking this much during. I just generally like to ask questions and listen. So you got to talk more. No. Yes, you do. You've got to lay some words of wisdom on us there, child.
What, the gift of gab? No.
Yeah. I know. I had lunch with you today. You have the gift of gab. You can use it anytime you want to.
Yeah, but that's when I want to. No. What kind of words of wisdom would you like, Kevin?
I would like you to tell us tell us more about Mary, since she's coming on next.
Well, she has a book, that's for sure. Let me see if I can find that book. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. You can tell that my stuff's just heaped in front of my stuff. Maybe I can't find it. But she just came out with a book.
That you read cover to cover in like a week, which you never do.
No, I'm not a reader, but I like I said, when I like reading or even talking to Mary Beckman, it's kind of like there's a emotional, physical, vibrational connection. It's all of the above. Like I feel when I feel like I connect with her on a whole nother level. I feel like I was downloaded with everything when I read her book. Let's put it that way.
And okay, you'll have to describe everything because everything comprises a lot of downloads. So what were you downloaded with?
Meditations. Reiki, like holy fire Reiki, like tunage, a lot of meditation. It's how to open your gift and how to perceive yourself as, she enlightened us in her book as well with how things came about for her. It wasn't only just her and her book, though. It was also her guides that were in there as well, and other advisors that came in and put their 2 cents into the book as well. So I wasn't just reading all of Mary. I was reading what all of those people came in to just one book. So
now, have you ever tried? I'm curious to know. Have you ever tried automatic writing? Have you done that yet?
No, I haven't tried automatic writing. I don't think I get the concept of automatic writing.
Well, the concept is real simple. You see, you take this pen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a pen right here, and you take this piece of paper right here, and you put it down here, and then you put the pen to it, and you ask a question, and then you just let every word flow. You don't think about it. You don't think that is it going to make sense or not. You're all you're asking for is, okay, give me a word, and then you write it down, and then give me another word, and then you write it down. Like kind of like that.
That right there, I could have sent you this. So I guess I did do it when your mother came to me because I pre-wrote it down before I sent it in the message because I was getting things.
What were you getting? What did you get?
Well, a lot of things, I just, pictured you guys sitting around a family barbecue. I told you I envisioned you being born and through some childhood memories. Red roses and lots of flowers. She came to me in a floral shirt and jeans and gardening gloves. Skinny. She had a halo, white yellow halo effect around her when she came through. She was very happy. She chuckled when she said locks and keys to me. And
Stop there. I have to tell you. When we went to her house, and by the way, if you're just now joining us, Mary Beckman is going to be with us in about 10 minutes. So stay right where you are. And then we've got phone lines set up so you can give her a call so that she can talk to you. But this is also interesting. You wrote that down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we get up to my mom's house, at this point, the police officer had left. The people that found her friends had also left. And so there was nobody there. And so we pulled in. The door was the garage door was locked. There's a key entry or a keyless entry. They had type in a code kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and we knew what the code was. And then her neighbor showed up, and her neighbor had a key in her hand, and she said, "By the way, your mom gave me this key to the house, and so if we need the key." And so gave it to my brother-in-law, whose name is Roger, and he went to the front door. Key didn't work. Went to the back door. Key didn't work. The key didn't work anywhere, and because they changed the locks years ago, and the people have had these keys for years. My mother never gave it a second thought, but then she tells you after she's passed, wait, watch this. They're not going to be able to get in the house with the keys, kind of thing. And that's what it was like. Okay, that was right on the money again.
Yeah, she definitely, I know, wants everyone to be at ease with her passing. It should be subtle. You should find comfort that she's not in pain is pretty much what I got out of it.
Well, and the reality is, let's be honest, she was 90 years old. I don't care who you are. It's downhill from 90. Things hurt more. You can't move as well. You can't think as well. And she was much better off leaving this world when she did, rather than having to go through the indignity of not being able to stay at home anymore, not being able to drive anymore. Driving was a big deal to her. Living a life independently was a big deal to her. Losing her independence and having to go to a home and spending $10,000 a month in a place that she hated was not what she wanted to do, not how she wanted to spend her life. So given those things, it was she's the luckiest person I know. She planned the whole damn thing.
She's smart. Very smart.
So keep going. What else she say?
Well, lots of stuff. Do you want me to tell you what she, said to me, to you, to your family?
Yeah.
Okay, she says, "My children, please find comfort in that I'm no longer in pain. It's okay to cry and grieve. Be there for your family in this time and always. I love you all, my children. I'm physically gone down here, but I'm always with you. I guide you on all paths and always have. Stay safe, my loves, and never give up on your dreams."
See, now that is something which is why I came up with the idea that when she makes that transition, that there's fundamental changes that go on with us. We drop all the negative baggage and all the crap and all the stuff that is more earthbound, and then we become more of who we really are, which is can be a completely different presentation versus somebody who is negative and all that, because my mom never would have said that while she was here. But I think fundamentally in her soul, that was really her intent. She just never knew how to say it, never knew how to phrase it and to work it. And then to come across that way, that was really a remarkable change around. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't who she was. That's, I think, where you're stumped. It wasn't who she was as a person, but I see that you're happy that you know physically that she made the transition.
And it was like I was telling my sister, it was like, I have never, she must have been like, I don't know, Mother Teresa or something in a previous life, because she had the best, she had one of the most remarkable lives of anybody I knew. She was married to her husband for 50 years. He took care of her. They had 3 great kids. She could do anything she wanted. He had lots of money. And so it worked out really well in that respect. By the way, we're going to drop this now because our friend, Mary Beckman, is working her way in trying to enter the studio, and Galactic Ashley is also working her way to and get into the studio. And let's do that. And there is Ashley, Galactic Ashley, and there is Mary. Are you a used car salesman today?
I'm at the church. I don't know what to tell you. I couldn't stay at my house because we have a delivery coming. So doing the best I can. It's about 400 degrees. I don't know how long I'll last, but I'm going to do my best.
Oh, sweetie, do you have air conditioning you can turn on?
Yeah, but then I can't hear you. So I'm going to do my best. I called in all my peeps. It's probably going to be fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, and Galactic Ashley, how are you today? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I am good.
Oh, good. Well, it's exciting to have the both of you here, and we are anticipating getting calls, and which is really kind of cool, because if you've been waiting for Mary or Ashley to come here, and you have a question for them or want to talk to them, the number that you call is flashing across the bottom of your screen, which is 206-408-1395. And so you can call that and I'll hook you right up. How about that? So how are you, ladies?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we can see you. So who wants to start?
Go for it, Mary.
Okay. Well, here we are in this absolutely crazy energy today. I'm having a lot of fun. I feel very peaceful. But there's a lot of people in Tacoma that are having a hard time. There's been a lot of stuff go down. So if anybody can say a little prayer for everybody in Tacoma, they're having a hard time. It's just, energy's really freaking high. And if people are, lives aren't going so well, like things can go in a nosedive. But I'm happy to be with you guys today. Thank you so much. And just happy to be here.
And Galactic Ashley, you're in west of Portland, right?
Yes. I was checking all of the directions, and I was like, yes, I am west.
Oh, very good. So, by the way, we have Galactic Ashley and Mary Beckman. If you would like to, I challenge the first person to call in to talk to these ladies, and I'm hoping that somebody will take me up on that challenge, so we can test this to make sure it works the way that everybody wants it to, and all that kind of thing. So, but now, I guess Galactic Ashley, you've got while we're waiting, you've got a seminar coming up, don't you?
Yes, I have a 10-week course coming up, and it's starting this week. And Mary is going to be one of the super fabulous guest speakers that is going to be in it. I think the beings are here because they scramble all of the words. But it starts this week. It's 10 weeks. There's definitely spots available, and I'm really excited about it. We're going to be working with different galactic energies every week. And if you've been feeling the energy lately and you kind of don't know what to do with it, it would be great to be in a group like this, because we will be remembering. It's not so much that we're connecting outside of ourselves to these galactic beings, but we're really understanding and remembering that we are galactic citizens and that we can let go of Earth-centric thinking and sort of embody our multi-dimensional selves. And that's kind of what a lot of these energies are asking us to do. And included in this course is a whole program called the Frequency of Fear. So there's an opportunity to balance a lot of the high energy that's coming in with looking at what you might they use the frequency of fear for a reason, right? Because it is a frequency and it is fear, and that sort of puts it outside of you so that you can kind of look at it and be a compassionate observer of yourself, and sort of just witness yourself. And when we witness each other as well as ourselves, that's when we allow healing to happen. And then we can sort of adjust with all of these energies that are coming in, because there has been a lot. On, I think Friday, I went to bed really, really late / very early Saturday morning, and I literally woke up at 11:30 at night on Saturday, and I was like, oh my, when it's like, I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but you like go to bed and you wake up and it's dark outside and it's very disorienting. But I was out and I didn't move. So I was gone for 20 hours somewhere, and the dog was too. So I don't know.
So what is Mary's role going to be in your course?
She is going to, I'll let her talk about the talk that she's going to give. And I know that she also has another weekend course coming up related to her book, which should be coming in the mail soon for me. But she, I think, is talking this coming Sunday. And I'm excited. She has 2 hours. So we have 5 different guest speakers that are going to come in. Some identify as being a walk-in or a hybrid, and some work with galactic codes like Mary, and some are channels to specific galactic beings. That way people can sort of have a sort of appetizer platter of different types of ways that people express their galactic selves into this dimension.
Oh, very good. And that should be a very interesting course. Now, we do actually have a caller, and I would like to get into that real quick. So I'm going to invite them onto the podcast. And hello, caller. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Very good. And who would you like to talk to today?
I was calling to talk to Mary.
She's right there. You can talk to, you can hear her, right, Mary?
I can. What's your name, dear?
Michelle.
Michelle. And when's your birthday?
May.
Okay. Your birthday's in May. Okay. I can kind of hear you. I think there may be a little bit of a lag. Do you have a question?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
Did you have a question for Mary?
Oh, hi. Yes, I do have a question for Mary. Mary, I'm just going through a transition in my life, and I was wondering what you see for for me moving forward.
Okay. It looks like your energy's pretty low. Does that make sense to you?
It can be, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look. I am going to go ahead and call in Creator God, our guides and guardians, our teams of light, our higher selves, and for you, your inner children, and calling in your subconscious. Okay. So it looks as if you are ready to do some releasing. And if you are you a Taurus? Are you that type of a May birthday?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, May 6th.
May 6th. Okay. Are you able to, if I ask you to do a couple things, are you able to do them? Because it sounds like you've got a lot of people around you.
Yes, I should be able to do that. And I do believe I have a lot of people around me.
Okay. So do your very best. Go ahead and close your eyes and look down at your feet and see that you are on a very beautiful pink quartz path, walking out towards the ocean. Keep on walking and see a column of golden light. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now I'd like you to tell me if you can see a pole in front of you or feel a pole in front of you and understand that you're just going to take your hands off of the pole. Go ahead and do that now. And you may feel some movement in your body. Can you feel it now?
Uh-huh.
Very good. All right. So just allow that to happen. That's a clearing right there. Very good. Now I'm going to clear some emotions from you. It looks like fear. So go ahead and say, I call into unity.
Call into unity.
My body, mind, and spirit.
My body, mind, and spirit.
Clear some fear. We're just clearing some fear. There you go. That looks a little bit better. Now, can you tell me, do you notice that your energy is a little different?
Still more calm, peaceful.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and so go ahead and say one more time, I call into unity.
I call into unity.
My body, mind, and spirit.
My body, mind, and spirit.
Okay, so it sounds almost like we have a delay because I can't hear you respond very quickly. So actually your energy is quite a bit up. I'm hoping you feel better. I'm going to clear some more. Here we go. I clear. And I clear. And I clear. So you're a lot more present right now. Do you have another question?
I am a lot more present. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Listen to that. She came right back to me.
Yeah, awesome. I do. And yeah, there is like a little delay for us to chat, but it's okay because it's the feeling is there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Never any problem at all. If you have one more question, I can go ahead and help you.
I've been having some issues in my relationship. And so do you see anything you can offer me on that?
Sure. Yeah, I can. This is pretty quick because I can't really do anything with the other person, but I can easily tell you. What's the name of your
for me.
But I can tell you
what was that?
I can tell you what I see on the other person. The other person is really connected with family. There's an ancestor situation going on where they're acting in a certain way. And so you may understand that they are acting very similar to mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa, or somebody like that. And are you seeing any red flags with that person at all?
Any what was that?
Red flags. You had some red flags?
Yeah.
Because they're up in your energy a lot. So they're going to be making you feel a little weird until you recognize how to let go of some of that control that you're trying to do. So my advice to you through energy is I would tell you to step back and just take a look at those red flags and see if you want to keep, maybe have a little bit of time together with a person that might be able to help you, like a counselor, if that makes any sense.
Okay, it's where there's a little bit of breakup in the phone, so I didn't quite hear everything, but I did get the first part of our stuff where you did some clearing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
And
thank you.
And caller, by the way, you can also go to My Independence Report on YouTube, and you can listen to the call in its entirety, so that you can get all the information that Mary gave you.
All right, great. Thank you.
As soon as this is concluded, it'll be up on YouTube, and you can watch the whole thing and listen to your own voice. You have a lovely voice.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everyone. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. And we're gonna, isn't this remarkable? The technology is such these days to where we can talk to somebody who is in Oregon in her house, somebody who's in a car in Tacoma, somebody in Cedro Woolley or wherever that world you are, and me, and we can all kind of figure it out. So it works kind of cool that way, don't you think, guys?
Yes.
And in fact, we have another caller on the line. Can we go ahead, Mary? Are you set up to go ahead and take another caller?
Me?
Mary?
Sure.
Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, caller, welcome.
Can you guys hear me?
Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Good. Who would you like to talk to today?
I really had a question for all you guys.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well, so I'm going to be going to college soon.
Yay.
And basically, I'm going to be uprooting my entire life. I'm going to be going to a different place. I'm going to be living there. I'm going to be surrounded by all types of new people. And I just wanted to know what's your guys' thoughts on how to keep, your energy good and, going through meeting so many new people and being completely uprooted for your life. How do you, ground yourself?
Who'd like to go first?
I love you, Tata.
What did you say your name was?
I said Tata. My name's Michaela. She's my niece.
So, Mary, you want to go first?
Her energy's nice. I really like it. It's open. I think, I don't know if you're a little tired right now, Michaela. It's not hugely open, but it's nice and bright and pretty as it is. You know what my best suggestion would be is to have a lot of fun, get every last doggone experience you can. And when you feel overwhelmed, there's a really cool thing you can do, and I'll teach it to you, no problem. But go to college and get every little cool experience, because it's not just what you're learning out of the books. In fact, it's a lot more than that. So it's meeting all kinds of cool people from all different parts of the world that's really going to give you an experience that I think you're going to like. So I'd like to do a couple of energy points on you if you'd like me to, some clearing.
Yeah, you guys are kind of breaking up, so I might be a little bit slow.
That's okay, because the energy is going to come to you no matter what. And when you listen to this later, you'll be able to hear the specifics, but the energy just happens, no problem. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and clear you as if you can't hear me. So I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to do 3 things, and I'll pass it over to Ashley. Okay, so here we go. We're going to clear one spot in front of you so you can walk ahead and ease. Clear your hands and feet so you can walk ahead and ease. Clear perfectionism so that you can do whatever you need without double thinking for yourself. Did I do it right? What about this? You can just go ahead and get anything you need coming up. Awesome, awesome. Okay, clearing with this particular code right here. Great. Clearing and clearing and clearing and clearing. All right, now let me test your energy. Looks really good. You're much more open. Can you say yes? Do you feel any different?
Yeah, I do. I kind of feel like I'm floating a little bit.
Awesome. So just go ahead and say, I call into unity my body, mind, and spirit.
I call what?
And I'm going to give you one. Hold on a second. Just say, I call into unity my body, mind, and spirit.
I call into unity my body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Awesome. And I bet you look all way, the one I sent you just now is sovereignty. So you're coming into your own, and now your energy's spinning like crazy. So good for you. What are you studying to be?
I'm studying environmental science with specification for biology. So I'm going to be going for botany.
Ooh, you talk to plants. I love it. Good for you. Well, good luck, dear. I send you over to Ashley.
Ashley, any thoughts?
Sure. I have a question. Are you an introvert?
I used to be. I've been a lot more open recently. I've been, well, at least trying, but I tend to be a lot more introverted. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not getting a huge introvert vibe off of you. And that's fine. So my point is that your question was, it felt like you were assuming that you would be overwhelmed and by meeting all of these people. And I'm not entirely sure that is so true. But when you expect things to happen that way, then you might get overwhelmed, right? But I think that your nature is open and that you can actually not get energy from people, but that you can be enlivened when you are around people. So when you notice yourself not feeling enlivened, then that might be the time for you to leave that particular situation, because those are not the people that you need to be around. The other thing that I was picking up is that you're an empath and you know that you're an empath, but don't fall into the empathic rut where empaths do this thing. And I'm a huge empath, right? So I get it, but don't fall into the rut where you're like, oh, the world is so much for me. And I understand that there can be days like that, but I feel that sometimes empaths can fall into this victim role of my gift is too much for me. And the fact that you're studying biology is wonderful, because that in and of itself will keep you grounded because you're working with plants. So this worry that you have, I'm not saying it's a false worry or that you're wrong or anything, but it feels like something that maybe somebody kind of floated over to you, and so you took it as yours, when I don't see you having any of those problems at all. And so just like Mary said, I suggest joining things that make you feel enlivened. So enliven is a word for you. Like what is making me spark? What is making my the electricity in my body run? Those are the signs of the things for you to follow, and then to trust yourself. And there's a term called modern mystic. It's not my term. But it's a good one. So as long as you are your authentic self, you are being a mystic, wise woman in the modern world. And the way that things used to be defined are going to be redefined by women now. And there might be challenges because you're going into science that sometimes means that you might have to work a little bit harder in order to prove yourself. But remember that there is no such thing as proof. There is only observation. So you have to prove yourself to no one, and you only need to trust yourself. Moment to moment, you are exactly where you need to be, and you absolutely are going to be in service. And I don't want to say you deserve to be there, because I don't think that's a word that any of us should have in our vocabulary. But you absolutely will do wonderful things, and don't let people's parents do this sometimes, and it's okay because they love you, but their worry can become your worry. So just turn your worry into wonder and take one day at a time, and it's going to be okay.
Kayla?
Thank you so much.
I second all of it. She hears it from me all the time, guys. She knows my opinion.
And thank you for listening to the show. It's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I love your guys' show.
Oh, well, good. You love Kayla more than me, of course.
Kayla's family.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for giving us a call today.
Yeah, thank you guys for your advice. It actually was truly helpful. I do struggle with imposter syndrome in my degree and feeling like you don't necessarily belong there. But, you know, you guys have really helped me out. Thank you so much.
One last thing, when you feel like that, there's so much energy is coming up right now about healing the feminine wound. Anytime you feel that you are not worthy, know that it's a part of you from this lifetime or another lifetime that is your feminine self that has been wounded. And all you have to do is recognize it and witness her, and she will heal. And that part, that will heal the moment, right? And you just keep going. So whenever that comes up, just remember that it's a part of you that is from a different future, past, parallel part of you. And just witness it, love it, and let it go. And you're going to be okay. And the other thing that I'm getting, the plants are reminding you how to connect to your solar self. And you're going to just connect and find all of these amazing gifts that are going to come through these plants for you. And they're going to help you transmute with the sun.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I will probably call you guys once I'm there.
Yeah, have
You guys have
fun.
to show something like this when I get there.
What school are you going to?
I'm going to Central Washington University over in Ellensburg.
You mean that party school in the middle of the state?
Yeah, kind of.
Just remember, you're there to learn something, not to drink something.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, please do, but occasionally it's okay. Just let your hair down, so to speak, but you're there to learn, child. That's the old man in me talking. So,
Definitely, I'm a study bug.
Oh, good. Well, you take care of yourself and say hello to Kayla the next time you see her.
All right, I will. Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
And
I'm like waving, but nobody can see.
and there she goes. Ladies, what do you think? Are you guys having fun? Are you, Mary? Are you hotter than a pistol?
No, my car's cool now because the church is near my house, so I hadn't had enough time to get cool yet. But I'm ultra cool, and all the galactics are here, so I'm nice and cool.
Good.
I wanted to, Kayla, can you tell your niece about the blue column to get to release all people's energy off of her?
Oh yeah.
You can teach her that. She can do it in a second. She'll feel so much better. And my niece went to that school and liked it, graduated as a teacher.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got so much faith in her though. She's got it going on. She's not a drinker either. So she's definitely a bookworm and she loves her plants.
Oh, exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, ladies, well, first of all, we've got another caller on the line. This is just phenomenal. I'm just having a great
phenomenal.
Time.
Everybody loves Mary.
Yeah. But I wanted to, Mary, I wanted you to talk about your book because Kayla got it and she couldn't put it down.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I heard somebody that got it. I'm really happy that you liked it. I'm starting to hear people say they liked it, so that's really good. I was worried because I wasn't hearing from anybody, and then it turned out a few were missing. That's how come. So I've been happy to send them out, and the publisher's been sending them out, and people have been saying they liked it. So it's cool. It's available on Amazon or through Dosey Blant, my publisher. And I just heard from my guides the other day that I'm actually ready to write my next book. So they told me a couple days ago that I'm ready to go for the next one. So that's pretty exciting.
Yes. I'm ready. I'll reread this one, I think, probably 15 times.
Oh, that is really cool. Good for you. Good for you, because I tell you, because Kayla doesn't read all that much, and she just said she couldn't put it down.
Well, remember, it's not me. That's my guide speaking.
I see it said, Kevin, it was accumulation of all, and she came right in it.
Oh, very good. Well, we've got another caller on the line, so I thought we might as well talk to them and see who they would like to talk to. Remember, if the number that's scrolling across the bottom of your screen, that gets you to talk to these two incredibly talented ladies. Okay, these three incredibly talented ladies, and then me. So if you want to talk to these guys, it would be great for you to call in, because just like this person is doing right now. Hello, caller. Oh, hold on. Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Just
sounds like you're having a galactic party.
We are. We're all over the universe tonight or today. And who would you like to talk to?
Well, my name is Jackie. Actually, Mary knows me. I was one of those lucky individuals that have gotten to learn the codes from her, and I'm so enjoying it. So if I can put a little plug in there for Mary, hi there. Her work is amazing. It's phenomenal. And I'm just calling in because it sounds like so much fun. I don't really have any questions for anybody other than just sort of a general, what information do you have to share with me? Who wants to take me on? Go for it.
Oh, I would love Ashley to look at you, because Jackie's a really interesting person. I'd love to hear what you have to say, Ashley, if you would.
Okay. I need a second.
Thank you.
She's working on something. She's writing something. In case, because not everybody can see what you're doing, I'll do the play-by-play. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. She's writing stuff down there, and she's looking into her brain to find out what she's.
Okay. That doesn't. I'm glad I've learned to focus.
It's hard to focus around me because
no, it's okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna start talking, I guess. Otherwise, if I don't, I'll go back to the fairgrounds, which is sort of where I started to feel like we were at before you called. It's your voice, Kevin. I love your voice, but then you were talking and I felt like I was at the fairgrounds. Not that we were like cows that were being auctioned off or sheep or something, but just like the rodeo announcer. I don't know. It just felt very like I started smelling the sawdust.
It had the smell of cow dung and stuff.
Yeah, but that's a good smell. Okay, so the first thing that I'm getting is it feels to me like the very first thing that came through is it feels like you do or could specialize in shadow type work, like helping to heal people's wounds or working with I don't want to say dark stuff, but you do it in a light way. And that is an advantage for you. And so one of the things actually, like, I feel like you could work with children almost, or younger people that are like it, because when you work with kids and trauma, sometimes it doesn't even have to be heavy trauma. It's like you could bring them around it, because not everybody needs to necessarily go through it. And it also feels to me like you're connected to, I want to say witchcraft, but that's not the right term. There's like some ancient Celtic sort of heritage or lineage, and I'm not a witchy person, but the way that they celebrate Halloween is that's the word that keeps coming up. do you guys know what I'm talking about? Somebody's
Cinco de Mayo?
yeah, I think with the S. That's what I keep hearing.
Okay.
So what is that about? I'm getting that these are only parts of you, so that you don't have to attach to them. You can invite them in, and they're more connected to your ancestors, but they're gifts that you have that are available to you. And that you are being asked, and I'm not projecting this because I had to double check. You are being asked to connect with more, I want to say galactic energies, but for some reason, it feels like you feel you might become ungrounded if you connect with those energies. And so what they're offering you is there are beings called, they're called the New Star Fae. And they're basically hybrid Fae beings, like big, powerful Fae beings that have been hybridized with like Andromedans and Pleiadians and other galactic beings, but they come from the future, but they're still very much of Earth, but also galactic. And so I feel that there are 3 that are part of a group that will have a familiarity to you, and they will be helping to bridge you into connecting to more of your galactic heritage. Does any of that make sense?
Fascinating. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, they feel female to me too. So like basically they will come to you and you will not be nervous or worried or anxious, and it will just make sense to you. And I don't know if hold on, I just heard there's a
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You're fine. I just heard there's some connection to Brighton Bush, and then something in England, not Stonehenge, but Stonehenge too. But there's some places, and so the benefit of working with these New Star Fae is that they're very adept at traveling through Earth timelines, so they can take you to places and show you things that are part of you, and to remember that you're still a part of them. Right? These aren't just random beings that are coming to you. It's like this was set up for you to go through this.
Okay. If I may ask, please, I couldn't quite hear the first part of, you said that they were from England. What was the area you said prior to England, if you can recall?
Oh, yeah. No, they're not from there. I'm just getting that you have some kind of connection to these places. One was Brighton Bush, but that's just like right over the hill from where I am. That's in Oregon, right? I'm saying that right? And then
that's the part. That's the word that I'm not quite hearing because of my phone connection, I guess. It sounds like you're saying Brighton Bush?
Yeah. Am I saying it right? Does everybody know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if you're saying it right, but you said it right. I mean, if that's what you meant to say, Brighton Bush would be what you were saying.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what that means, but
there's a place over on the way to Sisters, Oregon, if you happen to be over where I am, that you go by it. It's windy. It's like a happy Sprite Land place with fairies and magic.
Got it.
Anybody?
Okay, thank you. It sounded like you were saying something British.
Oh, no.
It is kind of a British sounding word. So now I understand. Okay. Well, this is fascinating. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you very much. Anybody got anything else they'd like to add?
Just that she's absolutely remarkable. So I can't wait to hear about the New Star Fae once she starts working with them, because this is an incredible human right here, a human plus.
Mm-hmm.
You get a passing grade from Mary. You're a human plus.
Oh my God.
Doesn't that have
Mary is a blessing.
Hot Springs? Is there a Hot Springs in Brighton Bush, or what am I thinking of?
Yeah, the hot springs.
Oh yeah, I think we ought to go to Hot Springs. That's for sure. I'll go there.
That sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Caller, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Nothing else I'd like to add other than gratitude to all of you. I had fun joining the Galactic Party. Thank you, Galactic Ashley, and everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you called.
Me too. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that opens up the phone line. Actually, we have several open. So if you'd like to give us a call, you can do that right now at 206-408-1395. You know, this sounds like an actual radio show. Isn't that just phenomenal that we can do this on the internet?
It's great.
Oh, I know. It's those call-in things that you do when you're asking people for money. Those 24-hour phone lines. That's what you sound like, too.
Are you saying that I've got that strange... never mind.
You just have that man voice.
Yeah, I'm the only man here. It's, that's the only voice you're going to hear unless one of you guys wants to, like channel somebody. So that's really cool. So Ashley, tell us a little bit more about your program. And you started week 1, right?
Yeah, we haven't started yet. We start on Wednesday or Thursday.
People can join in still, right?
Yeah, you can definitely join in. The lines are open. The seats are available. I don't know.
The lines are available and the lines are open. You can join her right now. Just all you got to do is pick up the phone or give her a call or go online. If they go online, Galactic Ashley, how do they get there?
Yeah, if you just go to galacticashley.com and then you go to Galactic Guided Intensives, it will be right there, Meet the Galactics, and you can check it out. And you can see an amazing photo of Mary and these other speakers and basically a layout. And then I have a video where I talk about it. And if that is all too much for you, then you can just email me at info@galacticashley.com and say that you heard about this course on Kevin's show, and then you'll get $25 off of registration.
Woohoo! Either that or you can donate it to me. Either way, it works just fine. I have a question for the two of you because we don't have another caller yet, but I sense that we're going to have a caller in a moment. But I had a difficult weekend, and neither of you know about this, but I thought I'd share. I had a difficult weekend. My mother passed away on Saturday morning, late Friday night or Saturday morning. She passed away in her bed. And I was just kind of curious to know if I've gotten some positive things from Kayla. I would be interested to know if she is interested in talking to either of you guys.
Sorry.
I
don't know. Well, because I don't know if she was funny, but she seems funny now. What is her name so I can make sure?
Her name is Elaine.
Oh, okay. In her sleep, she did?
Yep. Well, so we think.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, it was. She lived alone. That's how she wanted to go. That was like her stated, if I have to go, I want to go in my sleep. But she was only 90. So, Any thoughts? Anybody?
I'm just chatting with her. I'm just feeling angels around her. Angelic energy in some way. And her name is Elaine. So on Earth, where were you, Elaine? And then once you passed over, where are you? Okay. And is there anything that I need to do for you? I think she's looking good. I think she's there.
I really do. I think she showed me this this visual of hand up in the air, like she was like ready to go when she went. It was like she went. Do you get that, Ashley?
Yeah, I got something very similar where basically she had completed her mission here and she's been offered an opportunity to leave peacefully in the way that she wanted to, and she knows that you're going to be okay, and that it was, the whole thing was peaceful. And I just heard the word idyllic. Yeah. And did she drink at all? Like, did she have a drink?
And a glass of wine occasionally.
Okay, because I feel like she's like holding something, and that's not what she's doing right now. She's not drinking, but I feel like there's something in her hand, like a drink or an ice. I don't know. I feel like there's an ice cube in it or something, and then she's like swirling around. I think, which is just like she seems good. Like there's no, I feel like she's not in the Bardo or in anywhere. Like she was clear. Some part of herself was clear what was going to happen, and now I feel like she has some options, some decisions to make, not heavy ones, but like, do I want to be Kevin's guardian angel or do I want to go somewhere else? And really, I think that anytime you ever want to talk to her, she'll just bloop.
Oh, that I know. Yeah. Mary, are you still talking to her?
I was so happy to see that she was looking pretty good. Now I started looking at you. So can I look at you?
Yes. I was going to make a snide comment, but I thought I'd better not.
You're somewhat kind of low when I first started looking, because it's only been a couple days. You'd have to be, right? And now your energy's open a little bit. Just trust what the three of us are saying. She's looking good. Her colors that she showed me were blue and gold. And I cannot tell you how happy I am that you get a swirly drink with an ice cube in heaven, or wherever that is, because that's what I want. I want to drink unlimited Coca-Cola that I cannot drink on Earth because it kills my stomach. But when I get to the other side, I'm gonna have me some Coke. So I'm gonna have
now I have to ask both of you, and this may be a little not confrontational, but a little controversial, and that is she was a fundamentalist Christian, and so she had a very clear understanding of what she believed heaven to be, and what it was not, and that certain people couldn't get there and certain people did. Has she changed her mind about that in the 2 days since she's been there?
When I ask, has she been met when she crossed over, she says I was met by all. I think she noticed that there's a few more people over there than she might have thought.
That's what Kayla said too. Kayla said there was quite a party over there.
I just get the word all. She kind of goes all.
Oh, and Galactic Ashley, what do you think?
I feel like when we come here, the veil's pretty thick for a lot of people. And I'm actually getting something about that she was around when Yeshua and Mary were around. And then that story became distorted, extremely distorted. So then when you come into this lifetime, you are trying to live in that lifetime, but it's been so distorted that she's trying to do what she thought was true for her. So I feel like when she saw the all, then it's like the memory just comes right back, and then it's like an oh. You know, kind of like, oh. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? Like, I still feel like even if she was a completely fundamentalist and had beliefs or whatever, that she was still helping. There was still light coming from her where she was, and there were people that were still helped. And sometimes I have found for myself, when I released my mother from being my mother, the relationship was able to heal, at least from my end, right? So because it just releases the expectations that we place on people of how they should have been or what they maybe should have said at certain points, and just realize that they are our master teachers in a lot of ways, but that a master teacher doesn't necessarily need to be the parent.
Gotcha.
So,
By the way, I wanted to mention, and I appreciate you two and how you work together very much. You're both approaching this from a lack of ego, and you're working to help each other for the betterment of the people that are calling. And I wanted to compliment both of you for that. And that I think that's really, really cool that you could do that. I would love to do this more. Do you guys find this interesting to be able to do?
yes. I was waiting for Mary to go, yeah, I love working with other people. It's fun.
It's fun because we all get something. We all get a little piece, you know?
Yeah. So if you
what I can
guys
see about your mom,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was going to go ahead.
What I was going to say about your mom is that I can see her past this one little area that people, it's just like in my mind, they create like little stopping points for what I can understand about the other side meaning, you know, so that I can explain to people. Is it like that? Probably not, but they just a little human. They got to give me these stop points, right? And so she's past that. And now she shows me people off to the right that I can't quite see, but the word all being there. So she's still getting her bearings, really, but she's looking good. But yeah, I love to work in a group. It's always so much more fun than just blah, blah, blah on my own.
Well, would you guys consider both coming back and doing this again?
Sure.
Yes.
And Kayla too. We can have the three of you because Mary, would you do me a favor? Because I think Kayla's got a lot of talent and a lot of potential. Would you make her believe that, please?
Yeah. I think yeah, just say get up in the start of the day and just say there's nothing stopping me from being my highest potential today. Nothing stopping me from hearing and feeling everything I need to. And that's really we just stop ourselves from being the people that we could be. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to believe what somebody might have told me about how I ought to be from the past. I want to be somebody completely new. I want to wake up every day and say, higher self, go make me the most awesome day ever. And, get up out of bed and say, I get to hang out with my friends today, which is what I said today. Right. And, seriously, just trust yourself that you can create whatever you want. You are a creative being. And I believe you have everything in you that you need to have to be an awesome light worker, not really light worker, but awesome metaphysician. There you go. Or whatever word there is. Whatever word you want. If you want to be like this gal I know calls herself the space monkey. If you want to be a space monkey today, do it.
That's awesome.
That's so kind of weird. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is a new thing for video on YouTube and stuff. Is you can call in, you can talk to these ladies, and they can talk to you and read and give you a little bit of sense about who you are, and maybe correct your energy and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we don't have all day. So if you're a little shy, you need to get your, pull up your big girl or big boy pants and give us a call at 206 408 1395, because I'm going to let these ladies go in about 5 minutes if nobody decides to call. And so let's go through your information. Mary, you first. How do you get a hold of you? How to work with you?
MaryBeckman.com probably is the best one. And if you guys could send me prayers, because I need to get to that 7-Eleven across the street, and I am so out of gas. I can just see myself saying to my husband, you have to come down to the church next door because I ran out of gas.
Well, do you have the engine going?
Yeah, because I didn't want to boil.
Well, would you just would you go get gas and then we'll let you go, and we'll be in contact, because we'd love to have you back on, the two of you, to do this again. This would be a fun segment to do all the time.
I just want you guys to know that I'm usually prepared, and I can't help myself today. It's been a weird couple days.
Don't worry. I didn't realize that our faces were going to be shown last time, and I just got out of the shower, and I had wet air, and I look like a drowned rat. So we're good. You're good.
Okay, well, bless you guys. Yeah, I'll come back anytime I'm hanging with you three folks. So, and thanks everybody for watching, and just have a really good day, because you can create that just as well as you can create a machete day. You don't need one of those.
A machete day, but I love machetes. I do.
Bless you.
Thank you, Mary. Go get gas now.
God bless you. Bye.
Bye.
Kayla.
Reminds me of an old Jeff Foxworthy joke. I got gas this morning. No, anyway. So, Galactic Ashley, it's how does somebody join your event that you have going on?
Oh, how does somebody join?
How do they get a hold of you? Let's talk about that first.
Yeah, info at galacticashley.com. Info, INFO at galacticashley.com. It's where you come and get your galactic groove on. You can just go to galacticashley.com. I am on Instagram. I'm doing Instagram lives every other day. We are working with the power of words and looking at how language becomes the architecture of our life. So to pay attention to that. So there's a lot of fun and healing stuff going on over there, but the course is starting soon, and I promise you, if you email me because you want to talk about it, which would be completely understandable, do that, and then I will call you, and I can answer all of your questions, because I know if the first time that you've experienced me, you might have some questions. That's completely normal. And it's a course, and it's 10 weeks long, and you're like, well, what do I do? I don't understand. There's a lot of content. We meet live every week, and then there are 5 Sundays where we have 5 amazing guest speakers. Mary is one of them. And then we have somebody from New Zealand and some hybrids and walk-ins, and it will just be really awesome. And then we just meet one time a week, and you get to connect and receive downloads and activations, and you get to experience galactic beings in a safe place. And then if you have concerns or worries, then you're in a group, and so you can ask them. And that is the beautiful part of that. And there's a lot of energies happening right now, right? And so who better to get some guidance from, or any sort of ascension guidance than the beings that are participating and facilitating all of this high frequency energy that's coming through the sun.
A lot of stuff going on right now, isn't there?
Yeah. So I have a question for Kayla. So why we're teaming up on you because you're having a hard time just getting out there and saying that you do the thing that you do? Okay. I think that's a normal part of the process, and that will keep happening over and over again. And that's the part of consciousness expansion. And I don't think there's a way around it. So you kind of have to embrace it and jump off of the cliff. And you're the one that gets to decide if you're falling or flying.
Amen.
So, I mean, I get that too every time. And I always say, like, the fastest way to go through any healing or consciousness expansion is to start your own metaphysical business.
Oh boy, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, your own business in general, right? But then your own metaphysical business, because you're saying all of this stuff, right? And you can't just be saying stuff and not living it or embodying it. Well, I don't think that doesn't make any sense to me. And so it is definitely a process, and your stuff will come up, and then you get to look at it and move through it, and you just have to go. And then remember that you're still human, even if you're human plus, and the people that are with you are also human and human plus. And so people, I think it's helpful. I have noticed that through my experiences, when I've had stuff happen and I'm in the middle of one of my courses, the beings will just say, tell them what's going on. And so I do, and it actually makes the group somehow grow stronger. And because I'm just as transparent as possible. I mean, I'm not like everywhere, right? But there was a couple of like big things that tend to will happen, right? Because we're living this lifetime, and people die, and people have strokes, and people have big things happen, and it always tends to happen an hour before class starts, and I'm like, ugh. I mean, this doesn't happen all the time, but the couple of times that it did, I just said something, and then it was okay, and then it was in the air, and then everybody understands why you're a little bit off. Because if you're working with people that are also empaths or practitioners, it doesn't make sense to try and hide it, because you're sort of squeezing yourself into it. So just good to this is how I feel, but we're moving through it. So then everybody's like, see, Mahana agrees.
See, and I love what you said. Make the jump. It's your choice whether to fall or fly.
Right, because you're in midair, right? So you have no idea. So just stick the wings out and allow yourself to fly, right? Because the universe is constantly asking you, will constantly be asking you to jump. And you're going to have to jump, and you're going to have faith. And what they're really asking for you to do is to have faith in yourself. And that is where people get stuck. They want to have faith in something else to come save me. And they're always going to be we're here, we'll support you, we'll give you energy, we'll do all of the things, we'll help with the synchronicity. But you have to decide that you're going to believe in yourself to the best of your ability in that moment. Do you do art at all?
I try and paint. I actually tattoo on myself. So
that's permanent.
Yeah, that's very permanent. But I mean, I like painting. I like drawing.
And do you have anxiety over that? Are you okay with letting it be whatever it is and then showing that to someone?
Not when my, other half tells me it looks like a kid painted it.
Well, so those are really good sort of baby steps. If you're creating something and somebody's going to say something like that, those are you move through that, right? Because anytime we're creating a piece of artwork, what we're being asked to do is to fall in love with the creative process, not the attachment to the thing that was created. Because if we look at Earth and humans and all of this stuff that happened, if you want to go about the angels that fell and the Lucifer and all that stuff, what happened was these creator beings started becoming more infatuated with the creation rather than their ability to create as creators. And so in little ways we are playing these patterns as well. And so when we make something, we're being asked to release attachment to it, because when we do that, whether we're creating something through our voice or through music, or whether it's physical, when we release that into the world, the energy is able to go out and to continue creating in a way that's very outside of you, and you let it go. So when we think about source, we can go like source wanted to know itself, so it created the universe and all of these things, right? But what source doesn't do is it doesn't attach itself to us. It's why we have free will. If source was trying to control us, source, right? Now there are other controlling things happening here, but that has nothing to do with source. That's with us allowing ourselves to be controlled. But with source has released its creations to continue creating. And so when we're starting a business, or when we're doing something, we're being asked to put ourselves out there, but to put our creation forward, that thing that which we are creating in the moment, and then to release it and let it go, because we have no control over how somebody is going to receive us or perceive us in that moment. And this is what's going to happen. I mean, this always is going to happen, right? You will definitely have somebody that comes to you, because we all do, that will blame you for everything that you just told them. And that's just because sometimes you really touch people's wounds, and what happens is they have to blame someone, and so you're there and they blame you. It's not going to be all of the people, but that will happen every once in a while, because it's an experience, and it's good to have those experiences. And you know me, and you know Mary, and you know other people, that if something like that happens, you just go to them and you say, this happens, and they'll be like, oh, that's happened to me like 5 times. And then you find, and then you know, and these are the things, this is how I experience things, right? Is something will happen, somebody won't want to be in something, and then the sort of jerk reaction might be to like, here, take all of the money back, or here, take this. But if you've completed what they've asked you to do, and then all of a sudden at the end they're really unhappy, then you don't necessarily give the money back to them, because why didn't they say something like 7 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, right? But maybe you offer them something else, like to be in a course or something like that. So in all of this, in the exchange of money, which is really energy, in the exchange of your time, you have to start not only believing in the thing that you do, but believing in yourself and this thing that you're creating, and then believing in yourself enough that you are valuable and that you can ask for this monetary exchange, because it's what you want to do, and it becomes your full-time job. And so you have to start standing out there and then saying, like, this is what I am worth, this is what I do. And then over time, with more experience, then you can increase your prices on whatever that is for you, or the services that you offer. Yeah.
That is really sound advice, and it's a process, and it takes time. Besides the fact that she's not going to be able to go anywhere else. She's got to stay on this program to do this stuff with this host, because I demand it. Okay, maybe I don't, but I want to. I ask her clearly, and that we're going to go down the road together, and it's great to have you here, Galactic Ashley, too, because you are fun, and it's great when you and Mary are together, because then it's like fun plus. Everybody's
plus
fun
plus
fun and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and let you go. Is there anything you'd like to tell our audience before we go and wrap up this episode?
No, but thanks for joining us, and I hope to see you on a future Meta Monday, or whatever we're calling these, but I like Meta Monday.
I call them Metaphysical Monday.
Yeah, Metaphysical Monday. Meta Monday, Metaphysical Monday.
No, Meta Monday is good. That's good for short. Yeah, yeah. It's been a very successful show today, and I want to thank you both, Kayla and Galactic Ashley. You've been awesome. I just get to wind you up and watch you work. It's fun. So, thank you both. Stay right where you are, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, and thanks for listening to this episode all the way to the end. Hey, pretty cool. Hey, don't forget to follow us so you can receive regular updates and new posts. And remember, take care of each other because each other's all we got. See you next time on My Independence Report.